Hello guys, good afternoon. How is everybody? Oh, just propping you up here a little bit. Organisation. Hope everyone's well. I just wanted to come on quickly and thank everybody for the good wishes, and I think we're all looking forward to the race next weekend. So I have been prepping the bike this afternoon. Hi Al, how you doing? How are you? Great to see you on Bucking's video with all your axes. They look great, huh? They were really fabulous. So, did you have any luck with the deer? Hi Daniel, how you doing? How are you today? Yeah, so I thought I'd just come on guys and thank everybody for the support. Thank you very much, Daniel. Cheers. Thank you. We're getting ready now. I've been working on the bike today, doing a few things that that I thought needed to be done. No, not necessarily needed to be done, but good. That's good, Daniel. I changed all the cables on the bike, so the cables are all new. And what else did I do? Oh, new brake blocks for both sets of brakes. Put a different type of brake block in, which, thank you. I feel it on my days off, Daniel. I don't feel it when I'm riding the bike. But yeah, you just have to grin and bear it, I'm afraid, at this stage. So okay, oh yeah, I saw your message to me earlier on. So nothing big enough at all. I wondered whether you'd found anything at all. But hey Damon, how you doing? How are you? Yeah, so I put all new brake blocks in the bike, and they're a different type to the standard ones. They are slightly softer. Good, I'm pleased. How's your time off? Are you finding something to do? How's your weather? They're softer. They're made by a Swiss company, so they don't last as long, but they're a bit more grippy, so you get better braking. So I've just been working on it now. Excuse me a second and I will show you. Oi. 1 second down. What's you too cold? Saw 15. Sorry Al, I'll just go back here. Don't do any of that. Here we go. You saw 15 does and 3 bucks, but nothing big enough, Al, eh? Yeah, so I've just been doing the bike, guys. I mean, you can't see much now, but obviously all the cables are new now. So transmission cables. Is it going to focus? Yeah. Transmission cables, brake cables. Everything is new. And I've got a pressure oiler as well. If I can find it. Sorry to be going around in. Here it is. Nothing big enough, Al. That's a shame. This is a pressure oiler for cables. So that is the thin end, and that is the thick end. And for instance, this cable here, you would put the end of this cable, disconnect it here, put it into the fat end of the. Sorry, I'm trying to. Here we go. Put it into the fat end of the pressure oiler. The thin end, so the thin part of the cable, this part of the cable, comes out of this hole, the small hole, and then on the side here you tighten this down so that it's really tight onto the cable, and then this has a hole which you can put like a WD-40 or any brand any brand is available. So you put that in the hole like that, and it forces WD-40 right through the cable. So it washes that out with WD-40. So you'd be surprised, even there's one out there, just haven't seen him yet, Al. You have to keep looking, eh? You have to get some stronger binoculars. So even when you buy new cables, you buy brand new cables, when you use these, it's amazing the stuff that comes out of even a brand new cable, dust and muck and all sorts. So pressure oiled all of those, and then it's got these. Oh, I know this isn't very exciting, but these new brake blocks here. So not the metal part, just the rubber part. It's all changed on each one. So it's got these green ones in now. I had black ones in before. And the green ones are much softer and more powerful, so it means that you can put a lot less pressure on your brake lever when you're braking, so your hands don't get so tired. So if you're doing loads and loads of downhill where you need to brake a lot, instead of having to really squeeze the levers on and so it pumps all your wrists up and pumps your arms up, with these soft blocks. Don't use a special lube. Damo, through the years I've bought probably every type of lube known to man and to be honest with you, it's all pretty much the same. I think someone else mentioned about that the other day. Carl or somebody else asked me, or it might have been, I can't remember who it was, talking about graphite the other day. But it all comes down to, really, I'm going to stand in the shade a bit because I'm getting blasted by the sun. It really comes down to how often you maintain everything. If you are the occasional maintenance guy, need a set to see through the trees and the brush. Yeah, you could do with some infrared ones now, couldn't you? Some infrared, like the army guys have, those night vision goggles. That would be perfect. Hi Huck, how you doing? Yeah, so what was I saying? Yeah, for lube. If you're constantly like taking them to bits and fiddling around with them, it doesn't really matter, to be quite honest. I mean, I've used silicone. I've got silicone lube here. Hold on, sorry, I'll spin you around again. So I've got this silicone lube, the tread pattern. What's that, John? Just got to love that tread pattern. Totally gnarly. Yeah. So I've got silicone lube, which I also use, and that's also really good. I tend to use that more on the chains because it doesn't pick anything up. You clean the chain and then put that on. Yeah, Tri-Flow. I mean, Damo, I've had it all. I've had every, I bought it all. And but you believe me, I've been like suckered by all the marketing going. So, and then I've got this white lithium grease, which I pop on the axles in the gravel bike. So, I've got all sorts of stuff. I use different things. I've even got like 3-in-1 oil, the old 3-in-1 oil. So, I've got a good selection of lube. But yeah, the old WD-40 and other brands, of course, does the job. And if you're doing a lot of maintenance all the time, like little and often, then it doesn't matter so much. If you're going to leave something or you're not Mr. Maintenance, then I'd go for higher products. We used to use, Molly Lube, Huck. I think we talked about that the other day, didn't we? And with Molly in it. There's so many things you can do. And obviously on these, any grease, it's great to put grease on, but it actually, it causes friction when you're pedaling it yourself. It's different when you've got a motor. But when you've got to pedal it, you don't want to be up against any kind of resistance. So, if you don't want anything holding you back. Just light as possible. I used to use, when I was racing a lot, I used to use a product called GT85, which is basically the same as that silicone lube there. It's what the race teams used to use at one time. But again, it's all much of a muchness. If you rode underwater, you could use water. The only problem with water is that it evaporates. But it's actually a very good lubricant until it evaporates. So, there's a lot of ways of looking at it. But obviously with the bicycle, you're trying to keep everything as light as possible. Like, you don't want to be chucking chainsaw oil on your chain. It's just too heavy. So I just use silicone lube and that sort of thing. And I'm really pleasantly surprised by, like, coming back into cycling by the costs of stuff. I mean, stuff's got cheaper. I guess unfortunately it's all being made in China, but you know, it's not even worth repairing a krill oil. Krill oil. Fish oil is great, isn't it? There's the proper. Well, I think that's what's in WD-40, isn't it? I think that's fish oil. In fact, I'm sure it is. The basis of WD-40 is fish oil. I'm sure. That's the magic ingredient. What was I going to say? Yeah, and then the price of stuff. I mean, as you know, I got a puncture the other day, or you might not know, but if you saw the video, I got a puncture the other day on the other bike, on the gravel bike, on this bike. You know, I bought a new tube. It was like €2.50. I mean, what's that, like $3? I mean, it's not worth repairing them, is it? I know it's a terrible thing to say, but by the time you muck about, it's just not worth repairing the thing. You might as well just buy another one. So when I was a kid, you know, it used to be like, it was your pocket money going on in a tube, so you had a good puncture repair kit, but I don't know whether it's worth it now. Just buy another tube. So see, I just bought the scales up from Fast Pedal. 1890. Yeah, I tell you what, Damo, I would. It'll be like running through treacle, having 1890 on it. A bit of gearbox oil. I'll get some diff oil out of the dumper. Pop that on there. Yeah, I don't fancy that. I'm trying to make my life as easy as possible rather than as difficult as possible. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, I've got this stupid. Oh, here it is. You know, one of these like home gamer when you go on holiday scale things. You know, when you hang your suitcase on it, make sure they're not going to charge you. Have you ever? Oh, it's John. That was a funny comment from John there. What did you say, John? Bang a couple of bucking specials together. Yeah, John. I mean, old Al's got so many axes. He could do a little chorus, couldn't he? Like bucking. Somebody suggested that doing the axe symphony, didn't they, on his live thing last night, on his live chat. You put a few axe heads up and do them like a xylophone, play them like a xylophone. Al could have a little symphony going out in the woods there with his axes, play him a little tune. Yeah, so I weighed the gravel bike. I don't know why I swapped that around. I weighed the gravel bike. The gravel bike is 9.6 kilos. Sorry, it's in kilos. 2.2 pounds to the kilo. Someone's got a calculator handy, they can work it out. But 9.6. That's pretty good. I mean, it's actually lower than they told me. I think they told me 9.8. But I have got different pedals on it to the ones that came with it. So 9.6 kilos. I think it's pretty good. All carbon, of course, carbon frame, carbon forks. And the mountain bike is 11.33 kilos. Yeah, it might work out, mightn't it? Why don't you give it a go? You could use the hatchet to play the bigger axes with, and see what sort of noise it makes. Yeah, it's probably just frighten them off. You never know, do you? Our dogs are fascinated by music. Lisa plays the piano, and when she plays the piano, they all come and sit there. They haven't quite reached the point of howling yet. I do the howling, but yes, they like a bit of music. The old dogs. Yeah, 11.33 kilos, whatever that is in. Is that without oil? Yeah, that's without oil, mate. Yeah, that's dry. No crankcase oil, dry. Obviously, this weighs more because it's got the suspension forks on it. So, Texas refinery hangs on forever. To be honest with you, that anything synthetic now, if it's fully synthetic, it's like indestructible, isn't it? Amazing molecular strength, you know, it's fully synthetic oil. So yeah, the old mountain bike at 11.33 kilos, it's pretty good really, considering it's got the suspension forks on. I mean, I don't know what these new ones are, these new bikes. I'll have to look into it, but bearing in mind this is 22 years old, the old girl. She's rocking. And I've got these, yeah, I could show you that actually. These wheels are bang the handles. John, that's like the beaters, isn't it, in Scotland when they go shooting. they have the beaters come through, and the beaters make noise like that with sticks to get the grouse to go up, grouse and pheasants. Yeah, these wheels, I bought these wheels some time ago, much to my expense, but I mean, it's like anything, isn't it? You buy something decent, it lasts. But these, they're not actually spokes. Although those wheels look like they've got spokes in them, they are not spokes. They've got oversized hubs, which are carbon fibre. I know it's dirty, but I'm going to re-riding it again tomorrow, so I haven't cleaned it up. But it's carbon fibre hubs in the middle here, with an aluminium like spider. The spokes, instead of well, they're not spokes, but instead of adjusting out here on the rim, they adjust here on the hub. So it's completely different to a normal. Play the drums with the axe handles, Damo. Yeah, that would be good. I think Bucking's warming up for that, isn't he? He's warming up for a bit of a drum session with a couple of axe handles. But what these are, instead of being like conventional spokes, this is a Kevlar shield or tube, and inside there are a load of carbon fibre strands. So you've got carbon fibre strands under tension with a Kevlar sheath, that's the word I was looking for. Kevlar sheath over the outside of it. So in fact they have more play in them than normal spokes, and you can tweak it to get the ride how you want it. So the stiffer you want the ride, the stiffer you wind the spokes up. But there's absolutely no, even though you've got that much, I mean in a conventional wheel you'd never have that much movement because you get run out in the wheel. But these have got absolutely no run out, they're completely symmetrical, and yet you can have a lot of flexibility in the wheel. So yeah, I bought these, I don't know, 25 years ago, whatever it was, sort of after I got the bike. And likewise the front hub is really oversized, I don't know if you can see that, which makes it very, very rigid. So it means that the front end is really, really rigid, even though you've got suspension forks which are notorious for twisting. Having the oversized front hub makes a massive difference to the front end as well, makes it really direct. And again, that's carbon fibre. I mean, you can see it more clearly here on this one, with the carbon fibre strands inside the Kevlar sheath for spokes. And I've got that wound up a bit tighter because it's taking a bit more impact on the front. So I don't know if that was interesting or not, but they're very light, and at the time cost me all my pocket money, or whatever job I was doing at the time. Always invest in something, don't you? You're not supposed to be investing. So, and then on the mountain bike, I have got this type of pedal, which I'm changing for the race. Yeah, I know, John. It was all available, you know. All this, they bang on about all this new technology, but ultimately nothing's new, is it? It's all been done before, and I mean, these are, they're made in America. These wheels, I don't know whether they're still making them, but they're made in the USA. Hi, Dickard, how you doing? How are you? How's Calgary? I understand you were at a football game. Was that last night? You were at the football game? Loretta said you were at football with your buddies. How did it go? Yeah, so on this bike I've got these, what they used to call these convertible. I don't know whether they still do. So this side is just a flat pedal, conventional pedal, and this side's got the clip system. So if you've got clip shoes on, you can clip in on this side, and then if you're going downhill and you don't want to be clipped in, or if you're just wearing conventional shoes. Stampeders going to the Grey Cup. You'd have to explain what that means. I'm afraid. Sorry, Dickard, I'm not up on whatever that was, but sounded good, sounded positive. Yeah, so these pedals, you've got either the flat side for downhilling or just for riding around if you've got a pair of trainers on or whatever, you want to go just riding along the seafront, and the clip side for if you're doing anything a little bit more serious. Canada's version of the Super Bowl. Okay, brilliant. That's good, Dickard. Have you got tickets for that? Is that in Calgary as well, or have you got to go somewhere else for that? And on this one I've got the proper competition pedals on the gravel bike, and these are clip both sides, so it doesn't matter which side of these you hit. In Ottawa, geez, that's quite a way, isn't it? Quite away from you. Yeah, so these have got the clips on both sides, and you can set the tension, and that little grub screw there, you set the tension for how tight you want them to grip your shoe, depending on what you're doing. On the road you'd have them wound right up, so they were really gripping your shoes tight, but off-road you'd have a bit more play in them, just so that you know, you can get out of them if you need to. If you need to pull your foot out a bit rapid if something starts happening. So I will put these pedals, the full race pedals, I'll put those on the mountain bike. I might even do that this afternoon actually, because you won't have noticed, but in the video sometimes, yeah, you have two choices, Damo. You normally, let me try and get this here. Normally your shoe goes in, clicks in, and then to come out, the easiest way is to heel out. So you heel out and you come out of them. You can also heel in, but that obviously you tend to hit the frame. But you can heel out, or once you get really used to it, you can pop out forwards if you really know how to do it. But it's like when you're not used to it and you try and do that and it doesn't work, it's not particularly pleasant. you think you've unhooked yourself and you actually haven't, so you're still connected. Once you get used to doing it, it's kind of almost impossible to explain how you do it, but you kind of push down and come out at the same time. You force your foot kind of down in and come out at the back. But the easiest way is to heel out. So you twist out. I mean, my race shoes are down the bottom, but I've got my knocking about shoes here to show you. These are like Cannondale knocking around type shoes, mountain bike shoes, and they've got a flat base, but they've got the cleat in the middle. So you've got like a normal shoe which you can knock around in and do a bit of hiking or whatever, but they have actually got the cleat in the centre, and the cleat is what clips into the shoe, so into the pedal. So you hit into there and it clicks in, and then you're connected, and then you twist out to come out. So this is like, it's not a race shoe, it's just a, yeah, that's it, exactly, Damo. It's exactly that same principle of like the ski binding type thing. And you tend to set the tension depending on what you're doing. So like if I was going out on a road ride only on this bike, I'd probably wind the tension up a couple of clicks on each one, because I'm not going to have any surprises there, you know, it's all predictable. Whereas when you're riding off-road, you tend to have it just a little bit softer. But what you don't want is that sensation of any movement. So when you're really kind of pedaling hard, you don't want to feel like there's any slack in the pedal and the shoe. But my race shoes are much smaller than this, much more compact, a lot less comfortable as well. I mean, they're really good shoes, but they're not particularly comfortable. They're just light. So I'll swap those pedals over. Yeah, I was saying, you won't have noticed, but in the videos, when I've been riding the mountain bike. Alright, good. Yeah, sorry, I don't explain things very well, do I? But hopefully you got the idea of how it all works. When I've been riding the mountain bike, that last ride, even though I managed to take 5 minutes off my best time on that last ride on the mountain bike, I was struggling to get in and out of those pedals, because they don't, obviously, when they come around, and they might come around this way, or they might come around that way, but normally that's a bit heavier, so they normally come around that way, so you have to spin them with your foot and then click in. So a couple of times I've struggled to get clicked in, whereas these ones, it doesn't matter which way they come around, you click in either side. So it's a different principle. And I like these. If you go online and have a look at clipless pedals, I mean, there's you know, hundreds of them, but Shimano's have a lot of built-in play. And what you find with a lot of, especially road riders, they use pedals like Time pedals and Speed Play and these companies, and those pedals are completely rigid. So when you click in here, you've got no movement built in whatsoever, and it's really bad for your knees. You see loads of road riders have knee problems, and it's because their feet are just completely fixed into the pedal. There's absolutely no movement. So, you know, if you walk, just walk normally, you never put your foot down twice, you know, exactly symmetrically. You know, you put your foot down and you walk. And likewise, when you pedal, you know, you want to have a little bit of movement, so you have got some fluidity in your knee. And there's some of these pedals are so rigid, especially the road pedals, that your foot is completely fixed the whole time, and it takes terrible toll on your knees, really awful. And you see a lot of road riders have quite a lot of problems, and it's to do with those bloody pedals. So yeah, that's enough of that anyway, talking about pedals. So anyway, I just came on to say thanks very much to everybody. Sun's in my eyes again, hold on. Yes, John. Yeah, that one is quite hard to pedal. Yeah, that one requires gasoline. I just need to do the tyres on that. Excuse me, which I've got to get round to. Get this mountain bike race out of the way, and then I'll tidy this thing up. But the front's got a mousse in it, which is it's not a tube. It's like a solid mousse, so you can't get a puncture. But it's old, so it's gone. It's just gone soft. So I've got to put a tube in that. Yeah, it's a lovely day out. I guess it's in the low 20s. It's getting colder here at night now. It goes down to about 12 at night time. But daytime it's nice, pleasant. Yeah, and the back as well. I need to put a new tube in the back, and while I'm doing that, I'll put a new tyre on. So I've just got to sort that out. Probably fire up, won't it? I don't know. Do we want to fire it up? Let's see. It's probably in gear. It'll probably take off across the track. Oh, it's making all the right noises. Whoop, he's in gear. Famous last words. A bit like bucking with a McCullum. I'll just let it warm up a touch, John. It's enough noise. Piss my neighbours off. So it's quite cool then, where you are, night time especially. Alright, let's plug my phone in, guys, because we're much like myself, low on power. Okay, so I just wanted to check in, guys, and I am going up to... No clip-ons on that one. No. You need to be able to bail off that pretty quick, Damo, if the situation demands it. My buddy Graham just came third in the Roof of Africa, so that was a good result for him. The stages didn't really suit him for a couple of days. They were very, very fast, and he's not a really flat-out rider. He's very, very skilled, but he doesn't ride just like a lunatic because he has a long, long season. So he's done very well in the Roof of Africa. Came third. Very pleased with that. Yeah, so tomorrow I am heading up to the race loop, and I'm going to pre-run the race loop. So I'll see what it's like. I'll take the camera up with me, guys, and film the race loop. So we'll have a little preview of the 30k race loop for Sunday. And see how it is, see if we can find out where all the difficult spots are and where the problem spots are, in case we get held up. So I'll be going up there tomorrow morning and pre-run, have a little pre-run around and see how it all is. So I will upload a video about that tomorrow and let you know what it's going to be like. We'll take a look at it together. And just wanted to say thanks to everybody for the support. It means a lot when I'm out riding. You know, you're out there on your own, doing your best, and means a lot that everyone's supporting me, so feels good. So, Team Shankers, we'll do our best on Sunday, see how we get on. There's a few entries in there now. They all look pretty professional, so we'll have to see. They look like they've got big legs. We'll see how we get on. So anyway, thanks very much, guys. Thanks for tuning in this afternoon. Thanks, Damo. Thank you. Thanks for that. Thanks for the support and tuning in this afternoon and listening to me rabbling on. A few guys have asked about different things about the bike, so I hope I explained some bits and pieces about the bikes. And we'll go up there tomorrow and see how the route is for the race on Sunday. Okay, Al, thanks very much. Enjoy yourselves, everybody. I hope everyone's having a good day. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. And I'll upload something tomorrow from the race route, and we'll see how it all is. All right, guys. See you later. Bye.